There we go. Look at that. Boys and girls, here is an African elephant. It's a young male who's on his own. There's more. We saw more before. They're a little bit further on. We might catch up with them. He's only a youngster. This is probably about 18, maybe 20 years of age. So he's still very small as far as elephants go. You see him busy chewing, but his eyes are almost closed, which is a good indication that he's quite relaxed. There he's using his very long nose. Don't know what he's feeding on right now. It almost feels like he's feeding on some fruits, but let's see what he picks up. He's able to use that. There we go. He's got some sticks. This time of year, the elephants like to feed on bark. The bark is that covering on the outside of the trees with lots of moisture and lots of nutrients inside. Let me move up a little bit more, Davy, and we might get him feeding. They are very selective in their feeding. They feed on everything. They feed on the roots, the leaves, the sticks, the fruits, and even grass. There we go. You can see him feeding now. He's putting the stick. Layla, you want to know how big their ears are? Well, the size of the ears, the front and the back of both of the ears, work out to be about 30% of the actual size of the elephant, the skin covering. So how big they are exactly? Probably about 1.5 meters, 1 meter across at the longest part, I would say. But they work as a very, very cool technique for cooling themselves down. And once again, Lou, if we can go to the thermal, we'll have a look at how this very big animal uses his ears to cool down. Look how warm his body is. He's got a huge warm body, and look at the ears, because the skin is quite thin on the ears, and there's lots of blood networks coming into the ear, and when he flaps it, the more flapping he does, the more heat he loses, and so the more he cools down. Right now, it's not a very hot day, so he's got his ears close to the body, because inside and underneath, the skin is very, very thin there. Probably as thin as the skin behind our ears. Very soft. Can you feel the back of your ears now? Very soft. And inside there, they've got lots of blood that's moving through. And that is what's actually cooling them down. So if he flaps them, it gives lots and lots of warmth. But you can see how blue the ears are now, can't you? The tips of them. There we go. Look underneath. You can kind of see how warm it is in there. Because he's not that cold, he's holding his ears flat against the body so that he can not give off any heat, just like we do when we're a little bit cold. What do? We take our arms and we stick them into our armpits, don't we? Or sometimes we stick our hands and we put them down between our legs to keep ourselves warm, because those are the parts of our body that we're giving off a lot of heat. Very warm in the armpit. And the elephant, you can kind of think of his ear, behind the ear there, like an armpit. Okay, well, there we go. From a very orange elephant back to the giant grey animal that he is. He's slowly moving away, probably going to follow the rest of the herd. There were more elephants in the distance we saw earlier. He's going to try to follow them because he feels very lonely. Jack, you want to know how long their trunks are? Well, you know, from the ground up, an elephant can stand from shoulder height, probably about 4 meters, so about 12 feet or so. So I would say his trunk is just over, about half of that, maybe 6 feet, just less than 6 feet long. And they use it for everything. They use it for feeding. You see he's busy grabbing that branch there. And he's sticking it into his mouth. There we go. He's ripping off the leaves. He's kicking it with his foot. And then they also suck up lots of water into their nose, which they then push back into their mouth like an enormous straw. He's got a little bit of takeaway food. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bird following them. Oh, he's disappeared. There's a little bird following him. He's very brave following an enormous animal like that. Well, as this elephant moves off, I think we might be able to come around onto another road that's going that way and see if we can catch up with the rest of the herd, because that's the direction we wanted to go to follow up on a leopard that was seen earlier today. Very exciting afternoon. You've seen the hippos now. You've seen an elephant. I hope you're keeping a list of all the wonderful animals that we're showing you. Don't forget the birds as well. And Ralph has gone and found another animal for your list, and this one is one of the favorites from the Lion King.
Well, yes, look what we've found. These are wildebeest. Now, they also are on the Lion King. Remember when they all stampede down the canyon, and that's when the little cub gets caught in the way. Well, these guys aren't stampeding. They're all watching us, and there are actually a couple of them also rolling around in the sand. They do like rolling around in the sand. I don't know if you can see them from there, but they're very much like zebra, who also like rolling around. And I'll just show Ferg exactly where. There, Ferg. There we go. But they are very strange-looking animals, aren't they? They've all got horns, and they use that to protect themselves against the lions, because that is the only way that they can look after themselves. And the lions have claws and big teeth, but what the wildebeest have is a pair of horns. So they use that to try and defend themselves. But these guys are just very relaxed now. They're not doing too much. Looks like they are quite enjoying themselves, eh? And they're quite hairy, and they've got quite a big mane. That's what you call that long hair around their neck. That's called a mane. And that's like what a horse would have as well on the top of its head. Now, sincere, wildebeest don't really attack other animals because they all gang up together and try and look after themselves against the lions. So you might have zebra and impala and some of the other animals all walking together, and they don't really fight with each other. The only ones that they fight with are the lions, because the lions try to eat them. But the lions also need to eat. So, well, that's just the great circle of life, isn't it? But these ones aren't getting eaten at the moment, luckily, and they're quite relaxed. They're just looking at us thinking, what are those strange things? All right, so hopefully these wildebeest aren't going to be got by the lions, but I hear that somebody has found some lions.
I've got quite a very beautiful sighting here of the Talamati Pride. It's one of the prides in the area. We are right on the western side of the Juma Game Reserve, and they are very much relaxed. There's quite a few of them here. You can see one of them trying to clean herself there. This is what they do, the lions, when they're dating. So they use the tongue in order to clean themselves. You can see it's quite a few of them. I'm not too sure how many they are in this area, but I've seen, I think, 4 to 5. So the lions, Diana, the animals don't get that very cold. If you can check, animals such as the herbivores, they spend their all day long feeding because they try to get energy. The food they are eating every day for long hours is the energy they are trying to have in order to survive against the cold. So lions, cats, mostly they do their activities when the temperatures are cool. So the lions get excited during these kind of temperatures. So normally by this time of the day, lions are sleeping completely flat. But I can see some of them are even more active, whereas some are still sleeping. So we are lucky to find that some of them are just relaxed with their heads up. These animals can sleep for about approximately 18 hours. So they do most of their activities early in the mornings and late afternoons. So you can see the tip of the ears are black there. So those black tips, they help when they are walking around with their babies. That is when they use those ears, tip of the ears, as a follow me sign in order to show their little ones we are going to this direction. So they call their little ones, and little ones, they follow the tip of their ears. The question from Diana, the males, I haven't seen them. I'm trying to check here, and I haven't spotted any of the males. But when it comes to the animals such as the lions, it's normal. The females, they walk in prides. A pride is just a group of lions consisted of the females together with their little ones. Males, they tend to form their own group. It is called a coalition. So we don't have it here. Coalition is just a group of males. Lily, the lions can grow very big, and they can weigh up to 170, 190 kilograms. That is quite a very big cat. You can see the size of the head. This animal is big. It's one of the biggest cats. The males, when they're standing, you will see they are very much big. So these females, they are the ones which are responsible to bring food. So they go out and look for some food, and then they supply to their little ones. Even the males depend on these females. So now, while still enjoying the lion sighting, we can now go to Steve and see what the elephants are doing on the other side.
Yes, well done, Sydney. You've managed to find another of the big animals. We have come around and found the rest of the herd. And here is a few females with a youngster in the front. And that female there, you see her flapping her ears now. She was actually asleep. They fall asleep on their feet, elephants. If they're not eating and they're not drinking or walking, they have a little nap. And they don't often lie down when they sleep. They often stand up like a horse and just kind of nod off for a few minutes. And her youngster, probably her son in front of her there, is looking for a little bit of attention. We all do that, don't we? Mom and Dad want to have a little nap, and now it's time we want to play. He's going to come play with us now. He's got himself a stick. Look at that. I've got myself a stick. Mom's awake now. He's going to come and show us how big and strong he is. There we go. It's probably about a 5-year-old, that one. 5 or 6 years of age, judging by the size. And there you can see Mum is busy digging. She's woken up and she feels like she needs a snack of roots. And she's using her foot to dig into the bushes there. And look how that youngster is learning. The youngster is watching and seeing exactly what Mum is doing and learning, okay, if I do this with my foot, I'm going to be able to get something from inside of there, and then I can use my trunk or even my tusks. Reese, you want to know why they have tusks? Well, the tusks are used for digging into the tree and then ripping off the bark. Sometimes they can even take a branch and sort of hold it over the tusk and then break it with the tusk. So the tusk is very useful in allowing them to eat. And the males, the big males, they actually use their tusks for fighting. So not only do they use it for stripping the bark off of trees and breaking branches, they also use it to compete with other big males for the breeding rights to the females. So this little youngster, not that little, is learning from Mum. They are very smart. Oh, did you hear that? Mum is saying, no, not now. I don't want to give you attention now. I'm hungry. Alex, not all elephants have tusks. Some of them are born without tusks. That's kind of like a genetic thing. Some of them are just have and some don't, but most elephants do have tusks. But it's one of those things that happen every now and again where they just don't develop them. There she is. Where are you going, Mama? She's woken up and she's realized how hungry she is. She's going to show you what a bulldozer she is. Look at that. She's pushing the whole bush over. She wants to get at the roots. These trees, they take lots of their best bits, all of their good stuff, into the ground, underneath the soil, to hide away from all sorts of animals. And she knows it. You can't hide away from an elephant. They are very big, very strong, and if they want to eat something, they're going to get at it. Very, very cool. There we go. Look at her. Look how she's smashing it down with her head. Jordan, you want to know how they can protect themselves? Well, have a look at her. She's taking that small tree and she's just squashing it with her face. Elephants are very big. They can get up to 13,000 pounds. The big males, the females not as big as that, but you know, even that lion you saw there, they will never get more than 400, maybe 500 pounds, never ever. So elephants are far bigger than they are. So what they'll do is they can chase things, they can squash things, they can hit them with their trunk, they can kick them, they can stab them with their tusks. There's lots of things that elephants can do to defend themselves, but one of the biggest things that they do is they just make themselves look very, very big. They spread out their ears like this, and they stand up very tall, and everyone gets very scared and runs away. They try to do it to us sometimes, but it's very important not to run away, because if you run away, it becomes a game to the elephant, and then they want to chase you. You don't want to be chased by an elephant, because they can run at about 24 miles an hour, and they don't have to run around the bushes and the trees. They just run over them. But if you ever come out on safari, your safari guide will tell you exactly what to do and what not to do with elephants. They are the biggest of the animals, so it's very important that you understand how to behave around them. Like right now, we're giving them lots of space. We don't want to go in there and disturb their dinner or their breakfast. You did have a little nap, their afternoon tea. Let them have space. And if you don't sort of bother them and you don't chase their youngsters around, elephants can be very pleasant. They don't feed on meat, you see, so they're only feeding on leaves and branches. So essentially, if you leave them alone, they will leave you alone. Tommy, yes, they only eat vegetation, so seeds and fruits and branches and leaves and grass. So very vegetarian diet. Every now and again they might eat a little bit of soil just to get some nutrients in that they are missing. And every now and again it's actually quite funny to see. But if you look in the road over here, Darby, we look at one of those dung piles, and you see one of those balls in the road? That is an elephant dropping. And every now and again the youngsters will eat that because it gives them all sorts of things inside their tummy, which helps them then to digest the food that they eat. So that is one of the things they eat, but that's still vegetation as well. But there's lots of little good things in there that help them with their feeding and their eating. Okay, well, thank you very much to all the schools who joined us this afternoon. We've managed to show you some of the best and biggest of the animals out here in the savannah. I hope we get to see you again soon. Please do come back. Have a beautiful day, and we'll catch up with you soon. And while we say goodbye to you, we're going to be going back over to Ralph, who's trying to catch up with the little chief.
Yes, well, I am trying to catch up with the little chief, but obviously we always stop for everything else in between. And I just want to welcome back all the regular viewers. And I also want to remind you to please send your questions and your comments to the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter and on the YouTube live chat as we're watching these magpie shrikes having a little tiff with a yellow-billed hornbill. I'm not sure what it is that they are having a bit of argy-bargy about, but nonetheless, it's always easy with the sort of blackbirds, because there's not a large array of different blackbirds in the bush here in South Africa. If we can think of them, it would be the magpie shrike, southern black tit, the fork-tailed drongo is also pure black. The square-tailed drongo as well. What else? The bigger one would be a black eagle or the Verreaux's eagle. What else are there? If you think of any other black birds, maybe a red-winged starling is a little bit black with that red on the wing. Yes, thanks, Lou. She's saying the cuckoos. So if you think of any of black birds, send it to the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. Which are the other black birds? So we do have some of those. I think the Class's cuckoo. No, he's got the green in him. Let's hear it from you guys. Which ones? There are, I know those cuckoos, but you can tell me as well. And so there's not too many black birds, and especially just with a little bit of white on it like that. We know the southern black tit is a little bit smaller, also with a white on him. So it's pretty easy to identify, but these guys got much longer tail than that of the southern black tit, and their call is quite different as well. Now, we're making our way towards Twin Dams. Right, Mafuta, you say the cuckoo shrike or the black cuckoo. Absolutely. Good one. Thanks, Mafuta. Yeah, so what else? Which other ones? Angie, you say penguin. Bobby, you say crow. Yes, absolutely. Well done, guys. Penguin and black. They also got white on them, but we wouldn't find them in this kind of habitat, but absolutely perfect. And there's a couple of other ones as well, so send them in to the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. Right, I think I'm going to continue on. We are trying to look for Hosanna, otherwise known as the Little Chief, and we do know where he was this morning at Twin Dams, just hiding in a thicket there. So we're going to go see if we can catch up with him, if he hasn't moved. If he has, well, we'll just have to practice our tracking and trailing then, won't we? So I think it's time for us to move on as these birds have moved on. And so while we're searching for leopards, let's head you on over to the lions.
A very, very good afternoon. I am Sydney. I am traveling with Senzo this afternoon. We are going to be with you on this drive. And for the questions and comments, you can follow us on Twitter, hashtag Safari Live, and also on YouTube chat stream. My plan for this afternoon is to look for the cats, but I'm lucky already. I've got some lions here with me. They seem to be very, very, very much relaxed. So far, I have only noticed the females. Raphael, the distance between these lions and the buffalo head is quite very big. I can estimate about 2.5 kilometers. So it's quite a distance. But the possibilities of these lions to go to that direction are very, very high. I'm just waiting to see if maybe they're going to wake up now and show me what they're thinking. But at this stage, it's very, very much difficult to check their mood. So, but if nothing is happening, if it's like this, I am gonna leave. Yeah, if nothing is happening here, I'm going to leave the sighting, go and look for something else and come back again afterwards. Because I know the cats, they can spend much of their time just lying down like this. 18 hours is a lot. And I don't know how many hours they have spent so far relaxing here. Yeah, indeed, it is a very good sighting. To me as well, this is very much exciting. Carla, I was trying to read these lions here. It's quite very difficult to check the exact number because there's just, I'm seeing about 4 at this stage, but the other ones are not clearly visible. I'm just seeing some signs, some ears hidden by the grasses. So I'm not too sure of the exact number. Maybe before we leave, we might be able to see if they change and try to reallocate from where they are and move. Because I can see now some of them are starting yawning and they are showing some signs. They are becoming active a little bit now. So now let's go to Steve and find out what Steve is going to do now.
Well, hello everybody. Yes, well, we have left the elephants and we are now on Cheetah Cut Line. There was apparently some shouts of some zebra coming from this area. I didn't hear them myself. We've got some tracks all over the road. We saw some zebra earlier down that way. But our plan is the leopardess Chandi was found this morning on Torchwood. So we're going to head over there. Hopefully we can find her. Apparently she had some meat. So as we know, when Tanya's got some food, often we can find her again. It's when she disappears or doesn't have meat that she disappears. So we're going to see if we can get there. I'm going to take the next right in. I'm just driving quite slowly up here to see if I can hear or see anything of the alarm calls that I was directed towards. Nothing as of yet. We're going to go right here. This will take us directly towards Torchwood Lodge and then somewhere south. Just have to have a look on the map. Here we go. We're crossing into Torchwood. Woo! I haven't done this in ages. Just going to announce myself on the radio. Steve from Wild Earth crossing into Torchwood. Just happened. That just happened. That's only the 3rd time I'm coming here. Tex, I'll have a look on the pin. I'm not 100% sure of the road. I'll have another look now. I've got to correlate it with the pin and the map. But yeah, it's somewhere around Pump House Road. I'll have a look. So Texan is obviously keen from Voyatella Lodge. He's going to be on his way soon. And hopefully we don't have any gremlins this afternoon. So far, so good. I don't know what's going on with the weather. There's this huge cloud cover that's pulled in this afternoon. Huge cloud cover. Dave's going to show you. But the nice thing about it is it's keeping it nice and sort of relatively warm. As soon as that cloud cover dissipates, there's been almost no solar radiation today. So as soon as the cloud cover dissipates, it's going to be brrr with a capital B. But don't worry, as you know, I've got enough layers to last me. Well, I hope I do anyway. Beautiful afternoon out in the African wilderness. What a day it's been so far. Lovely elephants. Sydney with some buffalo and the Talamati pride. I've yet to see them. And hopefully Ralph manages to relocate on Osana. So let's go over to him and have a listen.
Well, I haven't been able to find Osana yet, everybody. But as we come through here, we can just see some animals through the bush over there. And that very characteristic white toilet bottom of a male waterbuck Now, it looks like they're walking a little bit through the bushes there. They are a little bit nervous of us here. So let's just see if we can maybe get to see them again. I don't know if we will, but we can always try. They are quite nervous because we're on 2 feet, and we know that animals, especially the antelope, are rather scared of us. And when they see us, this very strange, upright walking animal. But let's just see if we can get through the bushes here a little bit and get another little view on them. I think we might be lucky that they find this bush here a little bit safe for them as well. It's between us and them, but they might have moved off altogether. Let's just have a look. See, there they are. You can see their bums through here, but they're going to start disappearing off. There they are. That's it. And there's one female there as well. She's now looking at us. That's quite nice, isn't it? Okay, so we've got a nose Ferg. If you come this way a little bit, you might see her a bit better. But there she is, watching us, watching her. Well done, Ferg. It's not easy pointing that camera through the bushes here and getting it right on the end of the zoom. So these cameramen have got some serious skills. And we've got a different set of skills. We are the guides, and the cam ops definitely have their work cut out for them, trying to get right in on these guys from a far distance like that as well. It's normally not easy. But as I say, you see, the security of having this thicket between us and them does make them calm down a little bit, and they can feel safe now that they can see us as well. You often see how the antelope can really want to see what a predator is up to, and that's what they think of us as well. I would have to say that we're, like a super predator, as a lion would be. So they're always very nervous of humans on 2 legs. All right, so speaking of super predators and those lions who love to sleep.
Yeah, now I can see they're now starting to yawn a bit. 3 of them I saw they're yawning. I don't know if that is a sign. You can see one is up now there. I don't know if this is a sign that they are going to move from here to somewhere else. One is already up now. I can see standing there. I'm not too sure what is attracting that lion. Oh, now there's a bit of movement. Yeah, just about 2 of them are moving around there. Yeah, at this stage it's very much difficult here to tell which one has got the highest rank here in this family. Yeah, but when going around with the same pride every time, it's easy to see which one has got much powers. You can see there now the other one is licking the other one's back. That helps a lot in order to create the relationship between the pride. It helps to maintain the relationship. You can see another one is up now. Maybe they are seeing something that we don't see. Maybe they are seeing something that we don't see. I'm just trying to check what is fascinating these lions here. So I'm gonna have to be very much observant and try to see, and I will lower my voice a little bit. Maybe they are seeing something which is nearer that I cannot see. One of them is still lying down, not much interested on what is going on. Now I've got a better sighting. They are now coming out. Rosenda, I have been interacting with lions for many years. I used to work for the Marakele National Park, which is in Limpopo, just not very far away from Johannesburg. And I was a lead guide there. I am the one who was walking in front holding a rifle with my backup at the back. So I have encountered lions on a number of occasions. Lions with babies. I've been charged. They charged me a lot before. So now I can see things are happening here. Actually, it's more than 5. I can see there is more from the bushes there also. Now I can see them raising their head. So we're going to have a good sighting here. I can see they're now all starting to come down towards the road. I'm not too sure if they're going to reach the road or decide not to come to the road, but activities has just started now. They are now very active and they are moving towards the eastern side of the reserve. I just want to see if they're going to come to our boundary. So there is the leading female there heading towards our boundary. Now the direction is they are all now entering the Juma Game Reserve. Here comes another one following. But there's no sign of any. Yeah, the one in front now is walking and stopping. Maybe there's something they're following. I am going to follow them and see what is it that they're trying to follow there. Look at that. Beautiful, eh? Look at the black tips of the ears. These animals, their roar is associated with the African experience. They look very small, but they can make a very big noise. There's one coming still. Yeah, the chances of hunting activities are very high, considering the weather. And when I'm looking at their bellies, I can see that they don't really have much in their bellies. So now I just want to see if we can have a better sighting from here where we are. Yeah, but looking at the bellies, if you can check this one now, going to pass, you can see that she doesn't have much. So I am not seeing any sign of too much food in that stomach. Remember, the hunting activities on cats is motivated by what is in the stomach. When they've got too much in the stomach, they cannot run very fast. So maybe they are looking at something. So when I'm looking at that one on the road, it seems like there's something that they're seeing that I am not seeing, because the other ones went much more this side. So it's quite a number of them here. So now I'm just going to pull forward and see what is going to happen. Already I've seen there's even more still at the back. So they are following. I think there's 2 at the back still coming to follow this one. So it's difficult to tell the amount of lions here by this pride at this stage. But as soon as I see them all, now we can go back to Steve and see if Thandi is found on the other side.
Not yet, but you might have some luck, Sydney, with those lions. Wouldn't that be incredible to see the lions killing a buffalo? Well, they've been following them, so that's what they do. Lions in these areas seem to be quite specialized at buffalo, but no, we haven't quite found Thandi yet. I've followed the GPS point that brought us to the area. Okay, there's the tracks now. Did I turn around, Dave? I didn't, eh? Okay, here's some tracks right here, which might be the tracks that we are looking for. We didn't quite drive this far. So we're just going to have a little look around here. Vehicle's gone off just a little bit over here on the right-hand side. But apparently it was visible from the road, so we're just going to keep very slowly here. There are definitely some fresh vehicle tracks right here, which is what we were looking for. Apparently she had killed a small animal. I wonder if any of you out there can quickly hashtag Safari Live and let us know what you think Thandi might have gotten this time. Sorry, Darby. There's a little branch. Maybe it's a trick question. Aha, maybe it's not a trick question. Steve Orvo is full of trick questions. Tracks. I'm sure we're going to find her very soon. Won't be far off, but it just goes to show how incredibly camouflaged these cats are. We were just moving up and down with the help of our wonderful thermal camera, just scanning around, having a look to see if we could see her. We spotted a small antelope just up there. Not going to say its name because it might give away your decisions on what you think she might have killed. Okay, so this track's going this way and this way, so I'm going to go straight first, have a look around this termite mound. What do you think, Darby? Look around this termite mound first and then come back to those tracks there. Where are you, young lady? She's not that young, is she? You know she likes termite mounds. And do we think Columba's going to be with her? Thandi, you've been very quiet since Sunday. We haven't seen Columba since last week sometime. Trying to remember when last we saw her. There go the tracks. Gone over this little stump here. We shall do the same. Okay, well, while we try and find Thandi, we're doing whatever she's doing. Let's go to Sydney. The lions are on the move.
Welcome to the Unscheduled broadcast. I am Sydney, and now I am following some lions trying to... So you can see now is stalking the buffalo.
Okay, everyone, we're just coming down towards Twin Dams, and it sounds like Hosanna has crossed into Little Gowrie. So I think we might be a little bit unlucky, but I just spotted an animal up here. I always get a little bit nervous because I thought it was buffalo, but it's not buffalo, it's wildebeest. So we don't need to worry too much. There they are, just ahead of us there. And shame, that's Mr. Hosanna just having walked across the boundary, Gowrie Main as it's called. So he's crossed to the south of our traverse. And sorry about that. I don't know what the gremlins were doing there. You know, they sometimes attack at the worst moment. But, well, nonetheless, we're out on foot, and we generally don't get attacked too much by the gremlins out here. So, well, we can look at these animals that also do look a bit like gremlins, do the wildebeest, don't they? I would say they do. They've got a very, very strange-looking face. And I think it's with the Zulus, and I'm not sure about the Shangaan as well. Their sort of cultural stories around them is that the wildebeest is a mix of all sorts of animals. So they are not the normal animals in the sort of local traditions. Now, I'm going to go down towards Twin Dams and just make sure that Hosanna maybe doesn't come back there. But while I'm doing that, of course, you'll have to go back to the lions.
Yeah, it is a very interesting sighting here where I am. I can see the lions are trying to stalk a group of buffaloes. Already they are arranging the positions as I'm talking now. It's just that they are getting very much camouflaged with the grass. Something is happening here. We might be lucky with an interesting action. Buffaloes, they are not aware about the presence of the lions here. So I can see that they are slowly trying to approach the buffaloes. So I am not going to move here where I am, and I'm not going to talk loudly as well, because I don't want to disturb these hunting activities. I can see the buffaloes are coming, and they're coming at a very high speed. So two are just waiting there. Yeah, I'm also very much excited here. Good afternoon and welcome to the unscheduled broadcast. I have got some lion activities taking place here with me now, and for your comments and questions you can follow us on Twitter #SafariLive. Something can happen at any time here as I'm talking. It's quite a number of buffalo versus a quite number of lions. The Talamati pride. You can see the distance between the lions and these buffaloes is approximately less than 150 to 200 meters. There is even something I heard now. I heard a leopard sowing. So the wind is right on the favor of the lions. These buffaloes are definitely coming closer and closer, but I can see that they have not yet discovered the presence of the king of the jungle. It seems like these lions knew about the presence of the buffaloes in this area. They might have been following these buffaloes since yesterday. In a position. Apparently, one buffalo is going to be enough for this pride. They are very stationary feeding, comfortable, not aware about what is happening in the surrounding. Thomas, yes, the lions, they look hungry, but not very hungry. You can see another one is trying to have a position, stalking from the northern side. So these lions at this stage, they have closed all the corners. Some are on the southern side of the buffaloes and one is on the northern side, whereas one is right on the front. All the buffaloes have stopped. I'm not too sure if maybe the buffaloes have stopped because they have discovered something, or it's just about stopping to try and check before they move on. The wind is blowing, and still the wind is blowing towards us, and where I am is where these lions are waiting. So at this stage the wind is still favoring the lions. Kenny, my cameraman, is okay. It's just that he's trying to cover all the lions for you to see what is happening at the same time. The distance now between the lion that we are seeing together with the animal is now, I can say, is about 100 meters. So let's just be patient and see what is going to happen. You can see, Roche, thank you. It is the most exciting part of hunting activities when it comes to these cats. Look at that one. It's approaching very slowly. Look at that. Approaching very slowly. The lions which are already on the southern side are quite very much close to these buffaloes. So that buffalo is very close to the lions, maybe is even less than 70 meters, the one that is walking in front. And there is quite a few of lions right there. So at this stage, anything can happen. The buffaloes, yes, they can use this chance to chase these lions if they discover, but at this stage, the buffaloes are not aware about what is happening now. They might not see it happening. anything can just happen. This is too close now. So the buffaloes are coming too close, and these lions are managing to contain them. The distance now is very close. You can even see now. We can go to James, who is also seeing the lions.
Right, we've come out here to help just sort of get the best possible pictures of a potential lion hunt here of buffalo, which is really the ultimate Kruger predator experience. And there's nobody else here except Sydney, and so I thought, well, let me come round and see if we can't sort of double team this hunt. It's a wonderful situation to be in. Now we've got a lioness there, it looks like. Well, might be a young male actually, staring at the buffalo. The buffalo have got no idea. And there's an even younger male going round the side of this termite mound. What they do not realize, of course, I think the lions don't realize this perhaps, is that this is a group of bulls. I don't see any youngsters in that herd there. I think that's a group of straggling bulls, because the rest of the herd that you saw at the beginning of this drive is still sitting at the waterhole, or just beyond it. Yeah, this is all bulls. Alrighty, for those of you who were watching on social media, here we go, we have some tremendous action here. Craigus, let's go to the lioness on the road there. Sydney's going to get... Oh, surely the buffalo must notice. How many lions are there? Sydney had about 4 or 5 lions earlier. He's got another view of them from where he's sitting. We're in the perfect position. They are now only about 25 meters apart from each other. 75 feet odd. The buffalo still are not reacting as though they've seen the lions. Some people will tell you that buffalo have poor eyesight. I'm not convinced that that's the case. He's going to step right onto the lioness now. Straight. Oh, look at this. Oh, hello. Look at this standoff. Look at this. Another lioness coming from the back. That lioness had managed to get all the way around them. There are 5 or 6 lions here. Let's move through. Clouds of dust all over. Unfortunately, heading into a part of the reserve we can't go. We'll just see if we can get across this fire break area. Coughing, choking on dust. I had no idea there were so many lions there. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. Now, unfortunately, we cannot go north or across this road. But let's just see if we can't hear, perhaps, the distress call. They went running in there. No, I can't hear anything. That was spectacular. I think there were 8 lions there, chasing that herd of buffalo, that small herd, like I say, of bulls, and at least 4 of them had managed to get around the back of the buffalo. And, well, the ambush was set. It was perfectly executed, except that, of course, their courage failed them at the very last moment. Well, why wouldn't it? It's not unusual, of course, for big bull buffalo to toss lions into the air, and I suspect that the chasing ones just weren't fast enough to get onto them. Let's go a little bit further forward. There's Sydney in front of us. What a sighting. They're behind us. I see that Sydney has possibly got another sighting. I think he's calling this Tingana. I think a leopard has just crossed the road behind us. This is tremendous. There's the lion. We'll wait for Sydney to go and see what he can find that side. There's another lioness. I don't think there is going to be any lion kill action here, I'm afraid. Well, good for the buffalo. Not great for us, but, of course, these lions will probably not give up. And they'll keep following and harassing these buffalo. All right, those of you who just joined us on social media, an action-packed afternoon continues. Sydney, I think, is after a leopard over there, so if you would like to continue watching the show, just go to YouTube, type in Safari Live, you can watch the rest of the show. Sydney's going towards a leopard, Steve's on his way to a leopard, and in fact, Ralph on foot is also on his way to a leopard, so there should be leopards galore. Well, we'll see you next time when the action breaks. Alrighty, everybody. Sydney is having an unbelievable afternoon. He's now got the old Duke.